I couldn't visit my mother often because of my work and children's excuses. That night, I called my mother and suggested we watch a movie together and have dinner together. But my mother was puzzled and asked, "Did something happen?" "It's not a bad thing, is it? I just wanted to eat dinner and watch a movie with my mom. Would that be okay?" After a while, my mother said calmly, "Let's do that." The next evening, after work, I drove to pick up my mother. It was Friday night and I was engulfed in a feeling I hadn't felt in a long time. When I arrived, my mother looked rather excited. My mother was already waiting in front of the house, and she put on a nice old coat. It looked like she had her hair trimmed too. My mother got in the car and said, "I told my friends I was going on a date with my son tonight. Everyone is excited as if it's their job." The restaurant I went to with my mother wasn't the best place to be, but the employees were more friendly than I expected. My mother gently caught my arm, and she seemed to be the first lady of the president. When she sat down, she said, she asked me to read the menu, saying, "My eyes are not the same as before." Halfway through the menu, I raised my eyes and my mother was staring at me with a smile. "When you were young, I read you the menu." When I heard that, I said, "Let me read it to you today, Mom." That night, we had a pleasant conversation. Although it was not a particular topic, just a casual story. I've finally run out of the bottom of my conversation. After constantly talking about the old days with my mother, "Let's come again next time," my mother said with a smile. "It's only on the condition that I pay next time." I took my mother back home, but when I tried to break up, my feet didn't fall off. I held my mother and kissed her on the cheek and told her how much I loved her. When I got home, I said thank you to my wife. It was a wonderful evening. "Thank you for telling me to do so. You must have had a good time with your mother," said my wife. "It really was more than I expected." A few days after that, my beloved mother died of a heart attack. It was so fleeting that I couldn't do anything about it. After a while, a letter arrived from the restaurant where my mother and I were together. The contents of the letter were like this: "I don't think I can keep my next date. So this time, I want you and your wife to enjoy it together like you and I did. I paid for your meal in advance. And how meaningful the night you and I spent together was for me. I really want you to know that. I love you," said Mom. At that moment, I realized to let the person we love know that we love him, her, and how important it is to spend time for them. We don't know how long the people we love will be with us. If your mother is still alive, thanks her. If she is not here, please remember her who made you who you are today.